We are live with the Intuitive Mind Solutions pre-talk before the interview with Kevin Gyurina. Did I say your name? Did I say your name right?
Yeah, you said it just right. Yeah, perfect, man.
All right, cool. So we were just talking, Joshua was just talking about the situation.
Right, the situation, the global situation. We were talking about an article that came out in BuzzFeed and how pretty much it's a slam with some uneducated statements to persuade people a certain way of looking at how the human body works in relationship to components that are contained naturally in our food.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, I'll hold that rest of the conversation for later. Unless you want, unless you want to drop in a little more.
Joshua was saying something. You remember what you were saying?
Yeah. That we always tend to people want to play with God, and that all the things that are in nature already, they try to switch it with chemicals. And when they do that, most of the time the bad stuff comes up.
You look at the solutions. For example, an oil spill. Now, there's a whole conversation there how it got there and happened in the first place. However, the cleanup process is as toxic, if not more toxic, than the spill itself.
Yeah.
And so that kind of approach to addressing nature by a scientific or a synthetic approach, to me, falls completely short of the brilliance in nature when properly applied. When we honor nature and use it in accordance with things that we've discovered, and there's quite a robust amount of research in those worlds that I find that you never hear anything from this journals of phytotherapy or anything of that nature. And it's robust. It's very, very robust, and we're ignoring it in every way because it's not chemically derived pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, that whole fight, that whole situation with the pharmaceutical companies, that spider web that they've engulfed the whole planet with, that's a strategy that's going to be definitely uniquely made in order to deconstruct that spider web.
Right.
Here
in Holland we have the union against kwakzalverij, it's called, and
it's a union against quacks is what they call it.
Yeah, that's what they call it, and they kill everything that's put up with nature and health and normal ways to heal yourself, to boost your immune system, and they break it to the ground. And there's supposed to be a few scientists who are telling the people that everything the doctor comes up with is normal, like using zinc, for instance. That's or eating oranges for vitamin C or stuff like that. They all break it to the ground and they say it's a quack, and everybody who is in a natural healer kind of business, they try to kill.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with more of what you just said. And two things popped in my head when you were saying your statements. Number one, you said oranges and vitamin C. I'm like, let's remember scurvy, ladies and gentlemen. We know just having a lime, a lemon, a citrus fruit handles this disease. And you can look on Wikipedia. God bless. You can still find the information. And we know that's just eating a piece of fruit. The other thing we have to remember, and anyone outside of the chiropractic profession probably has no knowledge of this. I believe it was the late 70s. It was the AMA, American Medical Association, versus Wilk et al., which is a group of 5 chiropractors, and they defeated the AMA in a lawsuit at the Supreme Court level here in the United States, proving that they were defaming and purposely trying to take down chiropractic, as well as every. And I'm very conscious of using that absolute word, but every holistic practice was under attack by the AMA.
That's the same thing what they did here. This
exactly.
Union against quacks. they did the same thing with the chiropractic. They lost a few lawsuits, and then they lose them, and they just go on. And
they have unlimited money.
Unlimited. They're financed
They're
by Big
financed.
Pharma.
Yeah, yeah. So we're
all the guys behind it are.
Yeah, and then we start looking at, okay, what's the origins of the pharmaceutical movement? Now we get to things back in the 30s and even before then that led to this, and very prominently something called the Flexner Report. Now you got to go digging. However, you start to see this shift away from ancient, wise traditions that have kept people thriving and producing and expanding as a community, and then we substitute this. We substitute the mainstream agricultural practices. And you look at Weston A. Price, Dr. Royal Lee, they documented and traveled the world looking at the effects of this new eating style. And I'll just stop with that. You have a bunch of research now in front of you with those few phrases that we just mentioned here.
All this research is available, and if you start researching it, and you see what's being happening, and you talk something about it on the internet, instantly you're a conspiracy theorist. That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly. Now, you said another key word, conspiracy theorist. You go to the origins of that phrase. Oh, I'm not even going to say on this call what the origin is, because this may get swept out, and you may not be able to find this talk ever again if I say the origins of that word. So you got to do your own homework on that one. But
hey, so another topic.
With all that said, there's hope. There's hope, and there's real accurate information to really turn on health and vitality. And I know Dr. Matt and Josh here, you guys are living evidence of it. You are putting out the positive information. You've done your homework, and here you are. We're creating this. It's a funny thing that this being healthy is become an underground movement.
It is. Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. And even the new wave of science, with quantum physics and light and energy. Oh my God, it's so exciting. I know intuitive mind solutions and what things that I offer. It's this, we're literally doing the work that the scientists are finding out, and it's so exciting. I'm very excited.
I love it too. I work with energy also every day with my girlfriend. Even when she got a headache, it works. But yeah, if you say it here, yeah, they're starting to shoot arrows all over. So you have to duck,
We're the tip of the spear, though.
Yeah.
That's the truth, and that's where the most flack is. So I know when I'm getting bombarded, I know I'm on the right spot.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Keep that in mind.
That's kind of like when when you face the most resistance, then you know you're on the path of truth. That's what Nancy, my girlfriend, says.
Man, that's some wise stuff. And so this is, even more important for me to continue to surround myself with gentlemen like yourselves, because it just helps me find that home place, even though I know it in my heart as truth.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear it from other people like yourself. Amen, God. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I just want to, so this is kind of our pre-interview, but it's also kind of like an evolving brain hub.
Yeah.
And what I would like to end up doing with this podcast, because the name Intuitive Mind Solutions, if you kind of process and try to define what that is, well, an intuitive mind solution to situations and challenges in the world isn't going to come from one brain. And by knowing that the cooperative ability of human beings and bringing the right consensus of brains together to have a discussion about what we can do to create solutions that this world needs right now. And doing it alone is impossible because of the construct that's been built against us.
That's right.
And so
by
creating a construct defined by cooperation and unity, that's what is necessary for the intuitive mind solutions to work how it's supposed to. So I can see in the future we can get like the Knights of the Round Table going on in this type of conversations, to where we hear each and every one of ours voice in order to find and obtain that solution we're looking for. So it's super idealistic.
It's not idealistic. Well, it is idealistic, but in the sense, though, here's why I almost said no, is because what you're speaking about, there's known principles of nature called laws of nature. You know, some people call them spiritual laws, some people call them life laws, whatever, however you would say it. But you're talking about the principle of the mastermind. It's the phenomena we all have when we put our thinking, our solution, our problem-solving skills together with a common goal in mind. Because you're working in a group, more, how do I say?
Well, you've
more access to knowledge. It's like it's a principle within physics itself, where when there's a common frequency, a common wave of energy, that the energy adds both components together. So if they're equal at one, let's say one energy unit and another energy unit, both at one, they rise when they work together to two energy units.
Well, didn't you, a while ago, you shared a post about the two horses?
Yes, that's called, so that's the...
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
We're
Pure and
talking
simple.
about synergy.
Yeah.
That post I got actually was a story I heard from Jim Chester, and that sparked in me the remembrance of experiences I had over a 10-year period, and it just dawned on me that when we can work with multiple people that understand this kind of modality for affecting the outcome of one's life, I want to be mindful of the words I say, but I'll use, better health results. We know it's called an exponential effect. And we're doing this in what's called synergy solutions. Right now, I have 6 doctors every Wednesday. We come on at the same time. Some of them are in Europe, some of them are in the US at different points. And then we do this, what's called remote quantum healing, using most of us have trained in the quorum-specific technique, and there's a couple other methods that tend to seep in, because quorum-specific technique is a way to identify what energy system to work with and what techniques to bring in. And each practitioner has their own wheelhouse, their own power, let's say it that way. And when we do this work, the effects by the ones who are providing it, the doctors, but also the people that are participating just as witnesses for themselves, there is phenomenal effects occurring that I'm getting feedback now, because I'm getting feedback now, and we're about to go live in a real version, in the sense of putting marketing dollars and all that out, because the results are coming. The case study situations are happening. My next step is to bring confirmation in through research, and I see what you guys are doing with intuitive mind solutions. I'm like, well, that's the kind of stuff that we need for synergy solutions, to show people that there is a measurable physiological effect on the human body and the mind, and just another way of going about it. And I've participated in what you got going on with the intuitive mind and the center point meditation. It how do I say, blew me away in a positive way. Yeah. So I want to know, I want to experience, I want to share, I want to teach it, I want to, all that stuff. It's like,
well, I send you the link.
I know. I'll talk to you off recording on that one, but
yeah.
I dropped my little wish list in there up for you.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's good.
Yeah,
so then I want to kind of build this type of conversation with get Adrian, Dr. Adrian on here, get a few other people I have in mind.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of slowly build, the controversial, the Council of Controversy.
That's a good one. I like it.
Well, you know what? I love the name. It's only controversial because it goes against these systems that have been installed worldwide. I dare give a number about how long it's been installed for, but there's been a shift. You know, the study of sociology is the study of how do you have a massive number of people believe the same thing. And
We could get into the 100 monkeys. Just if people are listening to this, they can just Google the 100 monkeys study, and they can find out a lot of interesting things about collective consciousness.
And there's an amazing documentary that talk about that shows the dark side of this all. It's called The Minds of Men by True Stream Media. I got no connection to them personally. Just they have profoundly, through wonderful little videos and documentaries, been able to eloquently state the things I've been researching for the last 20 years.
Minds of Men.
Minds of Men. Yeah. Send me shoot me a message. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.